What's up, everybody, and welcome to this presentation. I kind of wanted to put this together. Today, we're going to be talking about the Great Reset and how it actually does affect your life, how it actually is already affecting your life. And as always, I want to make sure that these videos are short, sweet, but also impactful, right? I know that we all have busy days and our attention spans aren't what they used to be, but a lot of the things that we've been seeing in the world, and believe it or not, for a long time, they've been pushing this out for a long time, and we really started to see the head of it once the pandemic came about. But this definitely has a lot to do with the tariffs, the job market, the economy, inflation, a lot of things go into play with this. So I kind of want to bring this to your attention and why it affects you today. So let's get into the video. So, what is the Great Reset? Well, the Great Reset was originated as an initiative from the World Economic Forum, WEF. And if you haven't heard about that, go ahead and look it up. It's definitely something you should know about, especially what goes on at Davos as well. But, anyways, it's called the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and it was proposed after the 2020 pandemic as a way to reimagine capitalism, right? Now, what they're actually doing is resetting the world in general, and not just capitalism, not just our day to day activities. They're resetting everything, shutting everything down, and starting over. And as I mentioned at the start of this video, they've been thinking about doing this, they've been planning on doing this for a long time, and it is definitely biblical. So, guys, don't sleep on this. It's very important to know what's going on and to know what's happening. So, the idea of the Great Reset is to use the global crisis to reset the economy, social, and environmental systems. This is where we get things like the Green New Deal. This is where we get things like Agenda 2030, and even Agenda 2025. And this is where we get phrases like, you'll own nothing and be happy. Guys, look into this. It is important. That's the reason I put this presentation together, just to kind of get the gears rolling, the thoughts moving into your head. All right. So here's a video from Klaus Schwab, who recently stepped down from from the World Economic Forum, and there are some very interesting things that he has to say in this video. So I want to play it for you just for a second.
I don't know how it will play out in November, but what we know is that we will end up with many more unemployed, and particularly also people in the grey economy, which are not counted for, who lose their jobs. So we will see definitively a lot of anger already now, but probably increase by the end of the year.
So this is something very important that he's saying, guys. We're going to see a lot of unemployed people and an angrier world. See, he's using this kind of vocabulary, and this was an interview that he did actually, I believe, during the pandemic times a couple of years ago. So they've already been telling us what was supposed to happen, what is to come, and what's already here. So if he said we're supposed to be preparing for a more angrier world, a lot more unemployed people, guys, what are we seeing right now in the 2025 job market? Right? We're seeing a lot of unemployed people. We're seeing a lot of people that are angry. We're seeing a lot of people commit a lot of crimes, not just in the United States, but worldwide for that fact, because people can't find jobs. These tariffs are of course they say short term, but this is going to be a long term thing, guys. These tariffs are messing up e-commerce, trucking, shipping, a lot of things. And Trump has also making the United States a capital, a hub for cryptocurrencies. So you guys have to be aware of a lot of these things that are going on because they will affect you. If you're lucky enough, fortunate enough to not have had lost your job, okay, good for you. But be on the lookout because there are a lot of people who are definitely have been affected by this, and you are not exempt. You are not exempt. You can lose your job tomorrow because of what's going on with these tariffs. And while we're talking about the Great Reset, I kind of want to pose some questions to you guys. This is being called the Great Reset, but we should also be using this time to reset our lives. Well, what do you mean by that? If you know that you're currently doing things that you're not supposed to be doing, right? Clean that up. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. If you're in relationships you're not supposed to be in, if you have a lot of fornication going on, if you have a lot of drug use going on, guys, clean up your life because we are in the last days. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna take a lot of courage. And these are some of the questions that I've even been asking myself. Am I doing everything right? Is my life right? Am I resetting my life? Because they're resetting the world. And we don't know what's to come of this. We don't know what's going to happen next, right? No man knows the day or the hour. So get your house in order. Clean up your life. Reset your life. They're resetting this world, but not for the better. You should be resetting your life for the better, to be right with the Most High Yah. Don't forget that. Think about that. It's very important, especially in these times, because while we depend on our jobs and our bank accounts and things like that, if they're resetting all of those things, your bank account might go to zero. You might lose your job. What's going to be your source then if you don't have adequate savings or food stored up? Guys, think about that. I'm just here getting a conversation going, but we need to think about these things. We have to get our lives and our houses in order. Let's continue.
because this crisis will be with us until we really have found a remedy. So we have to prepare for a more angry world. And how to prepare? It means to take the necessary action to create a fairer world, to see that we provide everybody with decent access to the health system, that we make sure that those people who are really left behind, and I'm not speaking only on national levels, I'm speaking also internationally. If I see now the tragedy in some of the emerging.
See, it sounds all good. It sounds like they're doing a wonderful thing, but wait until the ball drop, folks. Wait until you no longer have access to your own property. Remember, this is the same guy that said you'll own nothing and be happy. They're coming for your job. They're coming for your children. They're coming for your spouses. They're coming for your worldly possessions. They're resetting everything to be a communistic, we share everything utopia. And communism fails. It's not going to work. Guys, get your houses in order, get your lives in order, because this is going to affect you one day or another. So let's go ahead and continue with the presentation. So, who is behind the World Economic Forum? Who's behind the Great Reset? And why should you care? So, key figures like Klaus Schwab, who we just got done seeing speaking at the WEF, the World Economic Forum. A lot of these central banks, big tech dealers, global organizations, right? Like the WHO. So we've seen before how a lot of these big techno banks in Silicon City, Silicon Valley, how they went under, right? So, guys, if banks are closing, jobs are being lost, nobody is hiring, food prices are going up, you can't afford your basic necessities, this is going to be a problem. Prepare yourselves, right? Then we have digital currencies like carbon tracking and universal basic income that all tie into it. We just saw Klaus Schwab talking about how he wants to provide everybody domestically and internationally with some form of universal basic income. And what does that mean? That means a monthly allowance. Well, why would you give an allowance to people? Well, because they're going to control the money, right? It's all going to be digital. And then they're going to control how you spend it with carbon tracking, with the carbon footprint, with the Green New Deal. Guys, look up these terms. They're very important. This is why Trump is making the United States what? The head of 5G and 6G, as well as the hub or the head of cryptocurrencies. Pay attention. I can't open your eyes for you. I'm just here to get the conversation started. You have to see for yourself. So if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, prepare now. And if you don't have the means to prepare yourself and prepare your family, the best thing that you have is prayer and giving your life to the Most High Yah while you still can, right? So the idea is to use the global crisis, which was the pandemic, to reset, as mentioned, economic, social, and environment systems, switching or swifting control away from individual nations to centralized powers. So they're taking power away from individual nations and giving them to central powers. What does that mean? A one world government. What does central mean? Central means right in the middle, one. They're talking about a one world government where the one world government controls all the banks, gives people universal basic income, and controls economic, social, and environment systems. Green New Deal, or it can be like in China, they have that digital ID thing that the Chinese people, citizens, are subject to. This is why they're currently pushing, guys, for all of us to have a real ID to travel and things like that. Pay attention, very important. And this is Donald Trump signing the executive orders for cryptocurrencies. Let's take a look.
Okay, thank you. So, understatement is,
Yes, he's the crypto EO. We're going to be forming an internal working group to make crypto to make America the world capital in crypto under leadership.
which is really going on.
Absolutely.
What did David Bernstein fix? You find them exciting? They might not be excited, but we're gonna make a lot of money for the country.
So you guys have seen that for yourselves, right? The world hub or the world leadership under cryptocurrencies under Donald Trump. He signed it into executive order, and he himself made a ton of money off of his crypto meme coin or whatever it was that he put out. So guys, pay attention. So what can this mean for you? Well, it means a loss of privacy, right? With digital IDs, programmable money that they can turn on or turn off at any given time. It also means increased reliance on the state or corporate systems, and also fewer choices in the name of climate, health, and safety. This is why they've been pushing climate control. This is why they've been pushing health, right? And safety. Is it safe and effective? Guys, as I mentioned, I'm just here to get the conversation started, but this is something that you guys need to be looking into for yourselves as well. These are very important terms, and you guys need to know them in order to adequately prepare your family, prepare your household, prepare your finances in the best way possible. So, what can we do about it? Well, the most important thing that we can do, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is get get your life in order. Give your life to the Most High Yah while you still have time, because that's going to be the most important thing. Unfortunately, we know that this world is leading to the beast system. We know that this world is leading into chaos. They said it out of their mouths that this world is going to get uglier. Prepare for a more meaner world, a more angrier world where more people are unemployed. And where there are high numbers of unemployment, what else do we have? Looting, people dying in the streets, rioting. We have all type of stuff. We have civil unrest. This is why they've been pushing also movies like Leave the World Behind, things like Civil War, all these Civil War movies, Marvel Civil War, that Civil War movie that came out not too long ago with Kirsten Dunst, right? They're showing you ahead of time, predictive programming. Guys, educate yourselves, right? Also, don't just rely on the headlines. Read in between the lines. You guys can find um, books like The Great Reset online for you guys to read yourselves. Don't just take my word for it. Look it up. Get the book. Read it. It's in there. You know, when I was coming up, one of the most important things that they often said was if you want to hide something from somebody of color in general, right? Put it in a book. But I say that that term goes for everybody. If you want to hide something from anybody, put it in a book because they tell you ahead of time what they're going to do. Also, what you guys can do is build local connections. Talk with like-minded individuals. Start growing things in a garden. Start thinking about how you guys can barter for stuff or help each other out because I'm telling you, times are going to get rough. Also, start gathering supplies, water, flashlights, canned goods, ammo, first aid kits, bathroom supplies, feminine supplies, right? With self-care products and baby supplies like diapers and wipes if you guys got babies, baby food, batteries. Learn how to DIY some things as well, guys. Educate yourselves and also consider going off grid if you guys have the means to do so. I understand not everybody does, but if you don't, start storing up, stacking up food whenever and however you can. They put expiration dates on canned goods nowadays, but that's because they want you to throw them out. Those things last for a long time. They just want you to look at the date and check it out the window because they don't want you storing up this kind of stuff. Guys, prepare yourselves, reflect on your lives, start saying, what can I do about myself to better prepare myself for the Most High Yah, for my family? Am I sinning? What do I need to stop? Am I cheating on my wife? Am I cheating on my husband? Am I looking at stuff I shouldn't be looking at? Am I doing stuff I shouldn't be doing, right? Start cleaning up your life. Guys, you woke up today. Some people didn't have the opportunity to wake up today, but you were blessed enough to go to sleep last night and wake up. So that means that Yahuwah still wants you here, right? And I'm pretty sure that there are other people in the world that deserve to be here so much more than we do, right? So many people in the world that passed away in their sleep that probably weren't doing none of the things that we're into, right? All the sins that we got, all the baggage that we got, all the unforgiveness that we carry with us. Guys, it's time to let that stuff go. It's time to have a great reset in the terms of our lives also. That way we can clean ourselves up and make ourselves presentable for the Most High Yah. We don't know when he's coming back, but I can guarantee you that we are definitely in the end times. So it's better that we do it now and get things right while we still have time, while we are still alive, because you don't want to drop your body in sin. There's a very important quote that I actually came up with not too long ago, and it comes from the Bible, right? It says, "The wages of sin are death." But my term comes in when I say, so that means that If the wages of sin are death, that means that we have to pay to sin, right? Wages is something that you pay. And what are you paying with? You're paying with death. So that means you literally have to pay to sin, right? You literally have to go into debt per se to sin. And you don't want to drop your body with all that debt hanging over your head, because you don't get a redo, right? You can't hit the reset button on this. So get it right while you still have time. Forgive, clean up your life. I'm not telling you guys to obsess with these terms, obsess with the Great Reset and all that, because we who believe in Yah, we're protected. But you don't want to get caught slipping. Even Noah built an ark. So that lets me know that I can't get caught slipping in these times. And neither can you. We can't afford it, right? So anyways, that's just a video for today. As I always said, I always like to keep these videos a little bit short. I know our attention spans aren't what they used to be, but I just want to get the conversation going. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let's continue this in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.